All right, everyone. We are going to begin our masks. I want to give you guys a demo. Here we have some glue and water. It's about 50-50. That's what we're looking for usually. The more glue, the better in all reality. But what we're going to be doing, we're going to be making a mask. We're going to make a blank for our mask. So we're going to take a balloon, and this will be our human head analog so that we don't have to paper mache our own heads. So what you want to do is you want to blow this balloon up roughly to the size of your head. And so if you can get the people in class next to you to kind of monitor that and help you out, make sure it's the same size. If you don't, if you're at home, you can go ahead and maybe go do this in the mirror so you can see yourself. So I'm just going to go ahead, stretch my balloon a little and blow it up to roughly the size of my head. Some of you, I would say blow it up bigger than what you err on the side of caution. So blow it up a little bigger than you think it might need to be. That way you can make sure your head fits in it, because this mask has to be wearable. And some of you got some really big heads. I've been noticing it online. It's really hard to fit your whole head inside the Zoom meeting. So just do what you gotta do. So I usually find two problems with this stage, where some people make their balloon way too small and some people blow it up way too big, and they can fit like 6 or 7 people's heads inside their balloon. So try to do it as best you can. Like I said, err on the side of caution. Maybe make it a little bigger than you think. Like I say, you can do this in the mirror and see if it works right for you. Okay, I'm going to say something about like that. So I'm going to put one more burst of air in there just to make sure it fits my big head. So I'm doing what I think is right, and then I'm putting one more burst of air in there. So we're going to do something about like this. All right, so I'm going to tie it off now. Now this is, like I said, this is just our analog for our head. All right, so it's kind of like, here's where my brain goes, and here's my chin. And so we just want to cover this in paper mache today. We want to get as many layers as we can. No more than 3, but it's impossible to get a full 3 layers in this class. So another thing I would tell you, we want to tear our paper into strips. Hand torn is better than scissor cut, because it hides some of the seams, and it also helps it stick down to the balloon better. And so I'm going to use my tray. I'm going to do this on top of my tray to keep my drippings in my tray. Some of you may not have that luxury. Another thing that works really well is a bowl. A bowl will help hold this up, because one of the things you're going to notice is once you start putting paper on this, it's not going to want to sit still. But a bowl will help it sit still. All right, see? Hands free. It's staying right where it's put, but once you start putting mache on there, it's going to get heavy on one side. It's going to do just like toast. So if you ever noticed, when you butter toast and put some jelly on it and then you drop it, it always lands jelly side down. So that's really annoying, but that's the way it is because of gravity. So this is always going to do that. Your balloon's going to want to try to flip over on you, but if you put like a bowl or something down there, it should help. So what we want to do, we just want to get nice copious amounts of glue on our paper. You can even pre-soak a few pieces of paper, make it really malleable and make it really soaked in glue. This glue is not going to hurt you. It's a liquid polymer. That means it's a liquid plastic. So it's perfectly safe to touch. We've been touching plastic our entire lives in this generation, right? You grew up with plastic baby toys. So another thing I would tell you is small strips of paper. I know what you're thinking. Bigger strips of paper will get this done faster, but that is absolutely not true. Because the bigger your paper is, the more likely it is to wrinkle around these round edges. So your paper is a flat square. The balloon is a round. object. And so the bigger your piece is, the more wrinkles you're going to get. If you straighten out a wrinkle over here, it's going to make 2 more wrinkles over here. And you straighten that out, it's going to put another wrinkle over here. And you will just sit there trying to straighten out wrinkles the entire day and not get anything done. So it's, see how many pieces I'm getting on here because I'm doing it smaller pieces a lot faster. So maybe we could do a big piece and I can show you and just demonstrate what I'm talking about here. You always want to take and get your excess off though. See how my balloon tried to flip around to the side I'm macheing? What did I tell you? Alright, so I'm going to try to put a big old piece on here. Alright, you see how it's making wrinkles and I'm straightening them out, but they're not straightening out. But if I get them to straighten out, I'm making more wrinkles over here. And when I look, you see that? You see that one pop back up? Ah! It's like whack-a-mole. Ah! And I'll straighten this one out. And now it's forming back over here. And now it's forming back over there. I will become gray-headed trying to do this. So what I'll do, I'll just tear some of this off. And use smaller amounts. Even this is starting to get too big, right? See, I'm starting to get wrinkles. It's getting very annoying. So we want smaller size pieces like this. That'll give us the most bang for our buck. We'll be able to move as fast as possible. So we won't have as much coverage with one piece, but we'll be able to lay a lot more pieces down much, much quicker. So you see, I'm starting to get a pretty decent amount of mache on here. We just want to cover the entire thing all the way up to about here. All right. And so I'm just going to do a little bit more and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys because there's not really much point in me finishing this. I'm just trying to show you how to do the mache. See how I'm raking it against the side here to get my excess glue off. This is just scrap paper. Like I said, don't be afraid of the glue. The glue is your friend. The glue is a liquid polymer. It's a plastic, and we want these masks to be made out of plastic. We don't want them to be made out of paper. We don't want a paper mask. That's like homemade trash, right? We want really professional stuff. All right. So the more plastic on there, the better. The paper is just a vehicle for the plastic. If we could, we would just have a mask solid plastic, but you can't make the glue just stand in midair while you let it dry. So once again, the forces of physics and nature are against us as artists. We just got to make do. All right, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. So I've got what, an eighth, maybe an eighth, maybe a 16th of the balloon done. So you could multiply this time by 16, and that's what it should take you to get a full layer. Once again, this was too big. I'm going to split it in half. We just want to make sure we get those wrinkles out because they will mess up your project. Now, the goal for this today, you want to get at least one full layer because if you don't, the mask that you're building will fall off when it dries. So we want at least one full layer so that the mask will be wrapped around the entire balloon, and see one end of the balloon's bigger than the other, and so it will not be able to come off. So that'll lock it in place. But you would try to get 2, hopefully 3 layers. The more layers you get, the more glue you have, the stronger and more durable this thing is, the more you can sand it and make it smooth and beautiful when you're done, and no one will ever know what it's made out of. It'll be basically it's a paper mache mask, but it'll be basically a plastic mask because this glue dries into plastic, right? All right. So hopefully everyone understands that. We're going to spend quite a bit of time doing this over the next couple days because we want a really thick mask blank. All of us are starting off with the same mask shape because we all have a similar shaped head, and then we will deviate from there and make those mask blanks look like the things we drew. All right,